What we particularly did together in Storytelling Unboxed is that we believed in one principle that all the students or every student is unique. And that is so authentic thing because like our fingerprint, every student is also unique. Their fingerprint is unique. Their story is also unique. And believing in this thing makes a paradigm shift the way we approach a student and teach them to unleash their voice or to unleash their potential. Because when we consider that every student is unique, we make them a character. So character is a protagonist, and they have a desire, and they go through challenges. And when they go through challenges, they have setback, but then they bounce back. And that is what is the way they transform themselves. So we negate to accept that students are commodity. So they are unique, not equal. And that is a reflection of their authentic self. But again, when we define storytelling, we say that a story is a reflection of life. Because a story is not just for entertainment, but a story has to give some enlightenment to us so that we can make our life better. That's why the concept of genre comes sometime. So different genre has got different life philosophy. Like, say, for example, fantasy. It's about finding magic within us and within the world. So when you are in a new environment, you tend to try because you don't have any fear that your known ones will be judging you. And when you are trying in a new environment, you are more likely to get magic inside you and in the environment. But again, say when you think about, say, horror has got a life philosophy that, it's more connected with religion. Like, say, we are not only fighting the monster in the society, and sometimes fighting the monster in the society is easy, and we often win in this fight. But then we become the monster. We need to stand in front of mirror, and very few people can do that because then we have to start fighting the monster inside us, which is transcended genre. And sometimes we know that if in this fight we might die because monster is very, very powerful, but that is the way and that is the path to the promised land. And that is the way we extend the meaning of death and thinking that we are going to the promised land. So here, what is important is that when we look at the character, we don't like the likable character. We like the character who are like us, who has got these struggles, who has got the weakness, and who has got challenges. And the story shows that how the character overcome these challenges and leave message to us. And that's why authentic stories are powerful. It's not about just performance, because this authentic story is the reflection of our life. And by taking lesson from authentic story, we can make our life better. But I would ask you a question, Professor Ibrahim. In a world shaped by AI, speed and constant output, do you believe human voice and presence matter more than ever?
More than ever, you're right, it does matter. But I wanted to come back to the idea of the authentic and inauthentic today being, so many simulated things around us that we need to constantly identify whether it's human or otherwise. That's kind of the challenge for the next decade or so that we will be sort of, be encountering. But one of the things about sharing economies today, where people put out stories of themselves, share anecdotes of their banal lives, moments that may not have what you said in terms of plot and narrative and messaging, the open-ended sharing that we do has got a different social sort of consequence and meaning for us as human beings in a collective. And the emphasis sometimes shifts away from just the messaging to the act of sharing, to the act of presence in sort of telling the world, I'm doing this. It might not mean much to you, but I'm, claiming my presence in the world. A lot of the platforms today encourage people to put out content, to create content, to fill platforms with something that can be circulated ad nauseum. And so storytelling in its sort of, original emphasis of plot, narrative, antagonist, protagonist, having some sort of message encoded, parables moved on to open-ended human transactions of sharing. And this sharing has got a different level of meaning to individuals, communities, people who are involved in that transaction in their daily lives. And it's not easy to trivialize it because it's a very important part of who we are today. And it comes back to this notion of presence today, because presence today on social media takes on different manifestations, including voice. Like everything today with AI, it can be reappropriated and conjoined to a simulated platforms of voice and image, where we are constantly struggling to identify the human. But as I've always said in my books, the human prevails in form and spirit. And that's why I think we need to still valorize human voice.
Oh, fantastic, actually. I need to read that book, actually, because I think I read a couple of other books written by you, but not this one. And I'm looking forward to reading this book, definitely. I think we are very end of our today's episode. Thank you very much for your time, Professor Yasmin Ibrahim. I think we are going to conclude. I would just say a few words and conclude this episode.
Before you do that, Dr. Moin, I just wanted to thank you for the time and running through some of those interesting questions you presented.
Yeah, I just want to say that voice is not something we give to people. It is something we remember together. As we come to a close, Storytelling Unboxed reminds us that storytelling is not about being louder. It's about being present. It's about recognizing that every voice carries a history, a wound, and a possibility. When voice is honored, learning transforms. Classrooms become communities, stories become bridges, and people move slowly, courageously, from silence to agency. Professor Yasmin Ibrahim, thank you for reminding us the power of voice, identity, our agency, and moreover, the power of our stories. And the stories are not only heard, it is felt, embodied, and relational. And to everyone listening, we hope to leave you with not only be inspired to speak, but also committed to listening to the stories unfolding around you and the quiet ones waiting within.